Assalamualaikum friends, I am Sabri. Like every time, this time too, we have come to such a place where history is not only on the pages of books, rather, it still speaks silently through the dust-covered walls of time. Today, we have come to find such a person who is not just a poet, was a revolutionary of a language. Let us try to know those unknown chapters of his life. This man was a warrior born far ahead of his time. On 25th January of the year 1824, Madhusudan was born in the village Sagardari of Jashore district. This region flowing beside a branch of the Podda river. Perhaps no one knew that this child could one day become a voice of Bengali literature. Today we are walking on the path of his life to know, to understand and to feel how a man transcends time and becomes a legend. Friends, history is not just the pages of books. It is a living truth which still questions us, makes us think. Michael Madhusudan's life is such a mirror where we can see the images of courage, mistakes, love and sacrifice. Today we are standing right there on the soil where a poet was born. This is the story of Michael Madhusudan Dutt, a name most of us became familiar with during 8th grade while reading his poem Kapotakko Knot. Madhusudan's father, Rajnarayan Dutt, was a powerful landlord and a lawyer. He was educated himself and wanted his son to receive higher education. His mother's name was Janvi Devi, a loving but conservative woman. The father's wish was that his son would become a high-ranking officer in the British administration. But fate had something else in store. From an early age, Madhusudan was a different kind of child. The way an ordinary Bengali boy grows up, Madhusudan's life was the complete opposite. Inside him, a rebellion was growing against religion, language, tradition, against everything. But did he really abandon religion out of belief, or was it a path to name, fame, and acceptance by the West? The time of his birth was an era of terrifying history. In the 1820s and 1830s, the terrible shadow of British rule was falling over every village in Bengal. The judicial system, administration, even the education system had become tools of a kind of colonial cycle. In the 1830s, he enrolled at Hindu College in Kolkata. Here he became acquainted with English literature, Western philosophy and European poetry. The year was 1843. Madhusudan was then a student of Hindu College, only 19 years old. At an age when most young men dream of love, friendship or a job, Madhusudan was dreaming of freedom. He believed Bengali society was in darkness, where people had no freedom to think with their own reasoning. To free himself from this shackles, he made the most difficult decision. He converted to Christianity. At the old mission church located on Mission Row in Kolkata, Reverend Diltree baptized him into Christianity. In search of fortune, Michael went to Madras. Even there, he couldn't achieve much success. With the help of local Christians and Englishmen, he got a job as an English teacher in a school. Amidst extreme poverty, almost starving, he went to teach at a missionary school. During this time, Madhusudan started writing poetry in English. He believed by writing poetry in English, he would win the hearts of Europe. From Madras to London, then to Paris. To him, Europe meant freedom, creativity, a land of dreams. But the reality was terrifyingly difficult. On foreign soil, a colorful Indian poet quickly realized there is no one of your own in this world. In Paris began the most painful chapter of his life. No one wanted to publish his writings. The dream of becoming an English poet started to fade day by day. Shortly after coming to Madras, a new chapter began in Madhusudan's life. He married an English young woman named Rebecca McTavish. That time was unknown, unfamiliar, a life built on a mixture of new love and different culture. They lived together for 8 years. During this time, Rebecca gave birth to Madhusudan's 2 sons and 2 daughters. Maybe for once he thought his journey would end here. He would settle down here. But that relationship too broke down. Love faded away silently. After the separation from Rebecca, another love came into Madhusudan's life. A French young woman, Emilia Henrietta Sophia. Henrietta remained his companion until the very end of his life. She was not just a wife, she was companionship, compassion, and silent strength. It was during this time that Madhusudan sent his English epic, The Captive Lady, to his friend Gurdas Bashak, and that friend delivered the book into the hands of educationist J.E.D. Bethune. Bethune was overwhelmed after reading the book. He wrote a letter to Madhusudan. He invited him to return to write in Bengali to Saint Bengal. Responding to that invitation, in 1856, after a long 12 years, Michael Madhusudan Dutt returned to Kolkata. He returned to his own language, to his own roots. But Henrietta was still far away. Maybe in the eyes of society, maybe in Madhusudan's own hesitation. Still a new journey had begun that day, one that would completely change Bengali literature and shape a man into a legend. His arrival shook Bengali literature. His writing, his language, his ideas, everything was different. It was this difference that made him immortal in history. He made mistakes, he struggled, but that very struggle made him a true poet. When the world learns to see a villain as a hero, when stories are written through the eyes of history's defeated, then revolutionary literature is born. Meghnad Kapo was such an expression of progressive thought. It is what made Michael immortal. But this boldness in a moment placed him against the established religious and social structure. After the publication of Meghnad Kapo, Michael became a star of Bengali literature. But literature does not bring money. On one side, he had to care for Henrietta's children. On the other, pursue literature while his personal life was falling apart. In this uncertain life, in 1873, Michael fell seriously ill. 29th June 1873, Michael Madhusudan Dutt was passed away forever. In the beginning, no one came, not even the newspapers gave much importance. But slowly, people realized the poet who was insulted while alive left behind an immortal legacy. The first epic of Bengali literature, the father of Bengali drama, the first poet with a global vision. This country, this society, are we ready to forget another Michael like this? Or will we now say true talent should not be honored after death? Should it be respected while still alive? Michael Madhusudan Dutt stands before us like a mirror, where we see how society destroys a brave person and how time makes him immortal. Many people began to read Michael's writings anew, especially his Meghnad Kapo, Birangana Kapo, his English poems like Visions of the Past, and his letters. After death began the birth of a legend. Life did not give him honor. He received no proper recognition, no love, not even a bit of peace. But death? After death, Michael Madhusudan Dutt became a legend.